Okay. Now, at this point, your mother was reported missing. Who reported her missing?
Okay, she wasn't reported missing until like a week later.
Okay.
I want to say that it was her boyfriend. It was either her boyfriend or my cousin Lisa. I'm not exactly sure who it was that specifically reported her missing. I think it was her boyfriend.
Okay. So when the police and everyone came to remove the vehicle, did they discover the body there then, or they discovered it at the impound?
No, they had no idea. So they took the car to the impound lot, and then the impound lot sent a notice to her address saying that they had found her car. The mailman knew that she was missing, and he seen the little card and then called the police. Then the police notified.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Police notified the impound lot, and then that's when they searched the car and found her.
Now, here's the thing, because we talking about this is August, right? And
yeah. They said it was August 30th, but it was actually the 27th that it happened.
Right, the 27th, right. Okay, but they say August the 30th, right? So
yeah.
So you mean to tell me this body was there for 1 week and no one started to smell her body decomposing?
Apparently not. It was September 9th was when I got arrested. Mm-hmm. I don't know the specific date of when they found her, but I know at least a week had passed.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently not.
Wow. Now, how did you become suspect number one? How did that happen?
I actually wasn't. So my mother had gone to Cedar Point with some guy, and apparently this guy had tried to rape her on the way back, and she filed a report on him. Mm-hmm. Well, he was actually the first suspect.
Okay.
Well, when they came to the house for me, they wasn't coming to arrest me. They were actually coming to tell me and to question me. They were coming to tell me that they found her body and they were going to question me. But when the investigators came in the house, I was ready to go to prison. I couldn't take it anymore. Like, my conscience was eating me alive. I couldn't even leave the house because it was just eating me alive. So the minute that they came in the room, I stood up and said, I killed my mom. And they said, what? And I told them again, and I was ready to go to prison. I just wanted it to be over.
Okay, so you confessed right then and there on the spot to the police that you killed somebody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now.
Yeah, I never denied that.
Okay. So, when they arrested you, they got you to the police station or headquarters or whatever. Did at that time that they how long was it before they arrested Mr. Williams?
I want to say I don't know for sure, but I want to say that it was a couple days maybe, because I tried to leave him out of the picture as much as possible. I ended up telling like 3 different stories. I don't even remember half of what I told them, but I was trying to leave him out of the picture as much as possible, because honestly, I was raised that you don't tell on people, and I felt like I was the one that was responsible and that it wasn't fair for him to go down for it too. So I did everything in my power to leave him out of it until the very end, when they said that they had found his DNA on a cigarette butt, that they knew he was there. I even lied and said that he had been to the house before doing laundry, and that might have been why his DNA was on a cigarette butt. But because of that DNA, they ended up arresting him, and I want to say it was maybe 2 days. I'm not positive, though.
Okay. Now you took.
It might have been even longer.
Okay, might have been even longer. Okay. Okay, you took a plea. Okay, you took a plea agreement to the second indictment charge, which was murder. Okay.
Yes.
You agreed to testify on your co-defendant, Mr. Williams, in exchange for your cooperation. You will be sentenced 15 years to life in prison. You were supposed to be sentenced on December 6, 2004, and your remaining charges were scheduled to be dropped. Before that could happen, you wrote to the court to withdraw your guilty plea. What made you change your mind, Miss Orta?
There was a couple factors. One, it was telling on him, period. Like I said, I was raised to keep your mouth shut or whatever. So I went back and forth with that. Two, he had written me a letter in county basically begging me that he had a family and kids and all of that and, whatever. And I felt bad because at the time I felt like I was completely responsible for it, and had I have not have asked him to take me there, that he wouldn't even have been involved. I didn't think about the fact that he was a grown man, much older than me, and could make decisions for himself, and that he actually had priors. I didn't know that, first of all, and I didn't think. I guess I was thinking like, oh, I'm this ride or die chick, and, I'm going to take the charges, and, I did this, and, whatever. So it was basically my conscience behind the entire situation, and the fact that I felt bad. Like, I just didn't see that it was fair that two of us went down, you know what I'm saying, for something that I did.
Okay, that's fair enough. That was honorable of you. Honorable. I'm going to give you that. Okay. No, it was honorable, but, like you said, he was a grown man.
Yeah.
Much older than you, and he knew how to make decisions for his own, because you didn't twist his arm to say, help me dispose of my mother's body. You didn't do that. And
exactly.
And you didn't tell him to rob your mother either. So come on now. He knew he was an opportunist, and he saw opportunity, and he didn't miss out on that opportunity.
Absolutely. And the me today would give anything to go back and rectify that situation, but
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I feel, you know what I'm saying, that karma has probably caught up with him, or will, that's something that he has to live with.
Exactly. Now let's move a little bit further, okay? On March 11, 2005, you were sworn in on record. The prosecutor asked were you willing to testify, and you invoked your Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution and refused to testify. Therefore, the remaining charges were reinstated, and those remaining charges were aggravated murder, aggravated robbery, aggravated burglary, tampering with evidence, grand theft of a motor vehicle, and theft. What made you take the Fifth Amendment?
Honestly, I don't even know. At that time, I had no idea what I was doing. My court-appointed attorneys were not helpful at all. I didn't have anybody there for me, giving me any type of guidance whatsoever. All that I knew was that I took my mother's life, and I felt at the time that I deserved to spend the rest of my life in prison, so I didn't even care. I didn't care, you know what I'm saying, what they gave me. I didn't care about anything other than just getting to prison and, doing the time that I deserved.
Okay. Now, with all this being said, okay, your family today, okay, you do have a sister, am I right or wrong?
Yes.
And you guys have different fathers, same mother?
Yes.
Have you spoken to your sister, and if so, how does your sister feel about the situation?
I spoke to her probably about 2 years after I got here. She reached out to me, actually, and she was very sincere, and she told me that she did not agree with what happened, that she was upset about the situation, but that she understood because her and my mother, well, our mother, didn't have a relationship either. My mom gave her up to her father when she was 2. So she was never really raised with her. They didn't even really know each other. But her and I had wrote for a little while, and, I mean, it was decent, we were catching up on old times, telling, stories of our life or whatever. And then she ended up getting married and had a child, and we kind of just, fell off. So I haven't spoke to her in many years, but it didn't end, on bad terms or anything. We just kind of, fell off.
Okay, just fell off. Now, is there any other family members like uncles or your uncles or aunts? How do they feel about you ever getting out again and being a productive citizen?
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So I have my uncle, who is my mother's brother, actually, and he's extremely, extremely supportive. He wrote me a letter for my clemency. He's very, very supportive. He's willing to do whatever, to help me get out. I'm just a little reluctant to have him be a voice in anything, only because he doesn't have a lot of nice things to say about my mother, and while she may not have been the perfect person, she also wasn't the worst person in the world either, and I just don't want her name to be, rubbed in the mud anymore because she's no longer here, you know what I'm saying? And he has a lot of resentments towards her, and it's like every time we talk about it, he, brings up, all of the terrible things and doesn't ever really have anything nice to say. So it's like I don't really want him talking to the parole board because I don't want him bashing her in that way. You know what I'm saying? But he is very supportive of me getting out, 100%.
Right, I understand that, but at any point, do you think that by him speaking up, being your uncle, your mother's brother, and he's sitting down with the parole board telling them the truth, do you think that will help you out, or at this point you just don't care that this is your mother and enough has been done and you don't want her name tarnished anymore? Is that it?
Well, honestly, I wasn't. So I do feel like there might be potential that he could help, but at the same time, I'm a very spiritual person, and I feel like I'm going to eventually get out, and I don't want it to be because they made my mother look like a bad person. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I want my story to be out there, yes, but I don't want her to look like she was this terrible person because she really wasn't. Like, she wasn't a great mom, but there was a lot worse out there,
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't my first person to pick. Like, I had another, a friend of mine who actually, knows me, knows who I am now, that I was going to have speak to me. If they wanted to speak to him, of course, but he wasn't my first pick.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you something because, the judge, with the back and forth, it was like he wasn't pleased with the outcome of what was going on with the, withdrawing and pleading the fifth. You wrote a second letter to the trial court requesting to withdraw your guilty plea, and a hearing was set for March 31st, 2005. How did the judge feel about all of this, of what happened before and now this?
I know that he denied it right away. It was probably within a week, I think he denied it. I don't really remember. I was so back and forth with everything. I feel that they were probably very frustrated with me because, like I said, I told 3 different stories, trying to leave Joe out of it, and I was back and forth. I didn't know what to do. I was advised, that I should take it to trial. So I think that's why I ended up writing the second letter asking to withdraw my guilty plea because I think that I don't know if maybe it was a court-appointed lawyer or my husband at the time had told me to take it to trial. I don't really know. I don't even know why I wrote that letter.